we have to organize around specific issues that make their lives better. $15 minimum wage, universal health care. Conversion takes place through acts of empathy that are carried out to people who are not your natural allies. And when you organize around those concrete issues, that is the starting point for political consciousness and political awakening. The state seeks to keep us polarized and divided. And we're not going to gain traction by speaking to them about their mythological past, and because they've retreated into the world of magical thinking like the Christian right. We're going to begin to break down that ideology by concretely addressing those
Chris, my name's Ted Hartman. I'm from this area. And my question to you is, I think like you, I think we'll all agree that the corporate powers have taken over the Republican and Democratic parties. Do you think it's even worth our effort or time to try to insert socialists into the Democratic Party and to try to take over that party, because they do have the mechanisms of power? Even if they're not expressing our views, is it worth our time and effort to try to insert ourselves into and hijack sort of their power mechanisms? Is it possible for us to take over the Democratic Party, insert socialists, and then use their mechanisms of power to try to enact what we want to go?
No. The Democratic Party is a creation of Wall Street. Those who are in power, Pelosi, Schumer, are creatures of that system. They know that if they were, for instance, to institute true campaign finance reform, they'd be out of a job. And we are watching the purges now within the DNC of the Bernie Sanders supporters, because they would rather go down than create an open system which would knock them off their perches or their platforms of power. Politics is a game of fear. I mean, the last liberal president we had was Richard Nixon. Not because he was a liberal or had any integrity or a heart, but because he was frightened of movements. And we have to rebuild those movements. That's our goal. And we have to hold fast to moral imperatives and not allow the establishment, including the Democratic Party, to buy us off. So you had the beginnings of a very widespread anti-war movement at the inception of the Iraq War, and what happened in 2004, they went into hiatus to elect John Kerry, who assured us that he wouldn't have pulled out of Fallujah. And this is a big mistake. You know, there's that great scene in Kissinger's memoirs, Don't Buy the Book, where Nixon and Kissinger are looking out the window. I think it's 71 or something. There's a huge anti-war demonstration, and the White House has put empty city buses in a ring around the White House to protect themselves. And Nixon's wringing his hand and says, "Henry, they're going to break through the barricades and get us." And that's where we want people in power to be.